Hello, my friend. Welcome to today's energetic healing session. So, this is the session available through time, through space, to help pull you out of a bad mood. So, if you've been really struggling with just feeling kind of low, kind of dragged down, this is me sort of reaching my hand down and helping pull you out of that bad mood. Now, this is all Reiki is all about, kind of helping you to heal yourself. So this is going to be a collaborative, energetic healing session, but you don't really need to actively do anything. All you need to do is give yourself permission to take this time. Sometimes we don't even allow ourselves to relax. And the thing is that healing happens, strength building happens, not when we're exerting our effort, but instead in those times of rest. That's when your muscles grow. That's when the healing really takes place, is when you've shifted into that rest and digest energy. Our nervous system really needs you to give it permission to shift into that state. So that's really the only kind of active, aspect here for you, is just allowing yourself to melt into the here and now, sink into this present moment, and just allowing yourself to be here. Okay? So I'm going to begin by cleansing your aura with some incense. This is the Hina Inner Peace from the Pure Incense Bow. So if you are new to Reiki and new to this idea of, a practitioner kind of helping you to heal yourself, it's really an empowering practice where you get to discover so much about who you are, how you function, how you move through the world. Oh, I am offering a Labor Day sale. I keep forgetting to say that. So there is an active Labor Day sale if you wanted to become a Reiki practitioner, work with me on learn how to, be a Reiki practitioner, like Reiki levels 1, 2, and 3. And I have a crystal course as well that teaches you all about crystals and how to use them, how to work with them. It's called Working with Crystals. So I'll leave all that down below if you wanted to check that out. Just a little Labor Day sale so that you can work with me if you've ever felt called to, but you're just waiting for it to go on sale. It's on sale. That is a beautiful color. Oh, it's got a nice scent. Smells like rhubarb and candied lemon, something like that. It's probably not in there at all, but that's what it smells like. There we go. Look at that smoke. So in Reiki, there's this idea of movement indicating health and stagnancy indicating a lack of health. So you might have heard people here, ASMR Reiki sessions, talking about, blockages and flow. So that principle of tension or tightness creating a blockage and then really feeling out that blockage and breaking it down so that we can kind of align once again and release the blockage in order to create that flow again. It's very, very powerful. And if you are starting to maybe dabble in esoteric teachings and maybe alternative healings, then this idea might really resonate with you. This idea of when we are coming up against a blockage, how can we start to notice that blockage so that we can then release it? I'm just going to use my breath here to start to clear. So physically, a blockage can manifest. And I think probably the most obvious one of those, or one of the most obvious, is that when we are feeling really emotionally triggered, but we feel like a cap on that, we're not able to express it, very often our throats will start to tighten. It almost feels like there's a block of ice or a block of something in our throats. You know, you kind of get that catch, and you can hear it when someone's emotional. Their voices start to maybe tremble, especially if they're saying something counter to what they're actually feeling. So if they're feeling maybe scared or helpless, and what they're saying, what they're communicating is anger or frustration, you know, helplessness and anger, grief and frustration, these are very commonly tied together, because when we're feeling helpless, anger actually feels more powerful as an emotion. So very often we sort of choose anger. We'd rather feel angry than helpless. Helpless is an emotion that is humans find very intolerant. You know, we're not very tolerant of helplessness. We will usually try to evacuate that emotion as quickly as possible. And so if you hear someone who's kind of getting angry, but you can sense that there's maybe some sadness underneath it, maybe feelings of a lack of self-worth, but what they're communicating is maybe criticism or judgment, you might start to notice a little click in their voice, a little bit of like tremble. And that's just a blockage, you know? And if you're experiencing that, then one of the most powerful things that you can do is just take a pause. Don't act right away. When you are triggered, when you are emotional, when you are feeling really, you know, like the blockage is really making itself known, that's not a great time to react, respond, or speak. But if instead we just take some time, take a pause, take a moment, and just give yourself some breathing room, some space, then very often what you'll find is that it will either pass, or you will find a way of tending to it. And this is a nice way to start that gentle practice of healing and regulating your aura, your nervous system, your chakras. So let's get back into your mood. Your mood right here, right now, in this moment. I am not asking anything of you. There's nothing you need to do, no way that you need to show up. There's no illusion that you need to be maintaining or keeping up. You can just be fully yourself, whatever that means. Just be fully yourself, just be here right now. And maybe what you might start to do is just gently slow your breathing. Slow your breathing. Give yourself permission to arrive here, to let the day sink away and to just be here with me. Just be here in this moment, allowing yourself to arrive, allowing yourself to take the time to tend to yourself. Maybe you might place a hand on your heart space, maybe a hand on your belly. One thing I would be really cautious of if you're in a low mood is to just really pay attention to what it is that you're consuming. So if right now you're maybe watching this on your computer, or I know some of you watch this on your TVs, that's how I consume content on YouTube, is on my TV. And that way it feels very intentional. But if you're watching this on YouTube and you're doing other things on screens, maybe looking at your phone or your laptop, what I would suggest that you do is just take this time for you. Really allow yourself to be here. Whatever that means for you, just being right here. Because when we are in that screen, what we're doing is we're just chasing dopamine. And, dopamine is really important. It's a really important hormone. But we're not adapted yet to these dopamine addictions that we're constantly facing, things like social media. So what's really helpful is just to recognize what you're consuming and just be aware of the intent of the creator. And by that, I don't mean like that anyone has malicious intent, but if the content feels, maybe it's a gossip channel, or I can't think of any examples right now, but if the content doesn't feel like it has your best interest at heart, maybe things that are kind of like chasing views, or just be really mindful of the kind of content that you're consuming. Just be really mindful of that, because you're very strong, you're very capable, but also there are parts of our brains and our energies that are very sensitive, and we just want to be aware of that and try and support ourselves, particularly when we're in a bad mood. So just be aware of those kind of dopaminergic draws, those things that are kind of where you're chasing dopamine. And instead, maybe just try to be present, be here with yourself, nurture your sacral chakra, and really pay attention to what feels good, what physically feels good right now. Do you have a certain body oil that you like to put on your hands and your arms? Do you have a certain really cozy sweater or blanket that just feels really supportive? Give yourself a little massage. Give yourself a little massage, particularly in the forearms. We have just so many muscles, so sensitive in a way that it can be kind of hard to, when we work with computers or when we're on our phones, or it's just an area that we don't tend to that often. Our forearms is very sensitive. There's something very sensitive about the forearm. So maybe just try to give yourself a massage. When you were young, did you ever do that? Play that game where you have a friend trace their fingers up your arm until they meet the crook of your elbow and you have to say when? And you look away. It's really sensitive and ticklish. That's why that game works. So really paying attention to these sensitive areas of our bodies, you know, behind your ears, this can be really sensitive. So just paying attention to that. Ooh, that's really nice. Maybe even gently rubbing your hand on your brow, on your third eye particularly, maybe gently kind of tapping your third eye, like that, kind of quickly tapping it. Rubbing your feet, rolling your feet in circles. And then dancing. Dancing is a great way of getting in your body movement. I love dancing. Love dancing. Going outside, maybe walking in nature, or stretching your body. And these seem like small things, but if you're in a low mood, getting some flow, you know, getting some of that movement in instead of the movement of the screen as you're scrolling or your mind as you're watching a million things, instead of that kind of mental movement, what can help you to kind of like ascend this mood is to get outside, get in nature, being surrounded by trees, being surrounded by nature, looking up at the sky. A lot of the colors that are naturally found in nature, they are energy boosters. Green is peaceful, it's heart-based, it's loving, it makes you feel enveloped, it helps you feel less alone. It's a really powerful color. Blue is very serene, very peaceful. It helps to kind of cool down any heated energy. So if you're feeling frustrated, irascible, irritated, going out and just looking up at the sky is sort of humbling and peaceful. This inner peace, this Hina inner peace incense for just such an occasion. So I'm going to put out our incense here and we're going to use some of this oil. I have this essential oil kit here and this big one. I have this essential oil kit and I'm thinking I either want to do clove and sweet orange. One of you asked for that combination. Where's my clove? Do I not have clove? Lavender. I spilled some wax on the bottom. Ignore it. Rose. Okay, we don't have any clove. Maybe that's one that's missing. I was gonna do clove and sweet orange. Let's do clary sage. Let's do clary sage and peppermint. Yeah, I think that'll be nice. Okay. So we'll use this clary sage and this peppermint. I'll let you smell them first. But using scents is a great way to connect to your lower chakras. When you're in a bad mood, I find very often when we're in a bad mood, it's kind of easy for our minds to take over and want to kind of drift off into things that maybe don't feel as empowering. So what I like to do is really ground and really connect with my lower chakras, root, sacral, solar plexus, even the heart space, the center of our 7 primary chakras. Those are really helpful for just getting in our body, grounding. If we're kind of activating our upper chakras, third eye, crown, throat chakra, sometimes it can have the opposite effect where we start to feel even worse. We have some moon water in here in our spray bottle. So take a few drops. We'll start with our clary sage. Beautiful. Clary sage is a really easy one to grow from seed. It's a beautiful plant. It smells lovely as well. The flowers of clary sage are very pretty and they're easy to dry as well. Next, we have our peppermint oil. I love using peppermint to uplift my energy and my mood. Peppermint and tea tree and eucalyptus. But also I find peppermint very clarifying. Same with clary sage, actually. That's another reason I love using peppermint oil when I'm cleaning the kitchen or the bathroom. I'm cleaning the sink. And we use it when we are brushing our teeth, not only for that nice minty flavor, but also because it's clarifying. It's a clarifying properties. All right, now those are both in there. Let's smell. Oh, that smells so nice. When you are feeling down, scents can really lift you up. Let me shake this up. I have some crystals in here as well, so it'll really break up those essential oils. Let's give it another sniff. Oh my gosh, that smells so good, just even without spraying it yet. I love that, the sort of sweetness of the peppermint with the sharpness of the clary sage. That's a nice blend. I did about 5 to 7 drops of each. And some water that's charged in the new moon. I always carry essential oils with me in my purse. I have like a kind of like a spiritual little emergency bag where I have my essential oils. I have crystals. I usually have some form of cleansing, whether that's some smudge or a spray or something like that. I usually have some kind of either string, sacred knot. If I need to think about or worry about something later, I can tie that up and then release it and dissolve that energy. But if you are really feeling low, I would highly recommend creating a little kit for yourself, a little energetic booster kit. I used to create those, and I know a lot of you have ones that I would create and had in my shop. Little kits that you could have and kind of turn to. I don't do that anymore. So just creating a little kit for yourself, maybe a box or a little satchel with your favorite essential oils. What are your favorites? Your favorite essential oils. What are your favorites? What are your favorite essential oils? What are your favorite things to smell? What are the things that ground you? What are the things that uplift you? What are the things that help you to focus? What are the crystals that you really love, that always feel good and supportive for you. For me, I really love jaspers. I love dragon's blood jasper. I love rose quartz. I find that really supportive. I love rhodonite in certain times. I really love amethyst. Amethyst is just always very empowering and uplifting for me. I really love howlite, and I love calcites. I find really fun. I really love blue lace agates, Botswana agates. They're just Septarian. Oh my gosh, I love Septarian and petrified wood. But there are just certain ones that really call to me and that feel really supportive for me. So what are those for you? And then create a little kit for yourself, a little satchel where you have all of your kind of favorite energetic little rituals or support mechanisms that you can kind of draw on when you need to just take a moment, realign, reset. Because the second that one of my favorites that I keep with me, I have one in the car, I have so many of these, is tea tree. Tea tree is my favorite, and I used to live next to a natural food store called Lassen's, and the Lassen's tea tree and the Lassen's cedarwood, their brand of essential oils is like, it's my favorite. I love them. I just find them very grounding. I find them, so you can do breathwork exercises where you, I'll spray that eventually, I promise, where you kind of hold your hands in prayer and then kind of close one nostril, breathe in and breathe out, and then do the same on the other side. Breathe in and breathe out, or you can do like so and like so. But just really clearing those pathways while you're holding the essential oil underneath, or maybe with a carrier oil. Be very careful if you have sensitive skin, but you can put maybe a carrier oil, or just, hold the bottle underneath you, or spritz it in the air. Maybe with a carrier oil, put some on your wrists. And then come back. I can just smell my perfume right now. A little bit of a spritz. Spritzing your aura. I want you to feel supported, clear, taken care of, tended to. And I'm just gonna do a very gentle kind of bringing you back. So if you're feeling like you're really caught in your head, I just want you to allow that energy to drizzle down into the bowl at the base of your torso. And I'm just going to kind of gently kind of press with your breath. So inhale, exhale and release. And inhale and squeeze. It's a gentle sort of squeeze, just to help you know that you're not alone. Exhale and release. Sometimes we have a hard time forgiving ourselves, and we have a hard time feeling like we belong. And I'm just following the rhythm of your breath. But the reality is, we all feel like that. All of us feel at times like we don't belong, like we're not worthy, like when we make a mistake, very often we are really hard on ourselves. And so I just encourage, I'm just sending in some forgiveness, acceptance of what is, and forgiveness, forgiving yourself. You deserve to be supported by yourself, I guess is what I want to say. That self-esteem, you deserve to trust yourself. And it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to gosh, perfection is such an illusion. And if you're in some way chasing perfection, I just encourage you to choose the gentler path. Perfection is rigid and hard and judgmental. Choose compassion. Compassion over perfection. Okay, my dear. So what I think I'm gonna do to close out is to shake up your energy with two different rattles. One is a really aggressive seed rattle and the other one is a more gentle rattle. But I'm gonna use them both together. This one can be kind of loud. So these are the two rattles I'm gonna use, and I'm just gonna move through your aura, top to tail, back and forth, okay? We're shaking up your energy. We're creating a nice, thick, buoyant aura so that you just know and trust how supported you are. You are loved. You are supported. Everybody goes through ups and downs. That's part of life. But it's about what you do in those moments. How do you care for yourself? Are you compassionate and understanding the way you would be of a child who is, experiencing emotions and, in this crazy life? Or are you harsh and critical and intolerant of these? Try to create a gentle landing pad for yourself here within, create that gentle landing pad within. Deep breath in, my dear, and release. You are divine, you are connected, you are expressive, you are loved, you are strong, you are creative, you are safe, you are safe. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sending you so much love and support. Take really good care of yourself, okay? Take really good care of each other. If you would like to learn Reiki, again, I have a little Labor Day sale going on, so I'll leave that down below. Lots and lots of love. Okay. Namaste. Hello, my lovely, lovely patrons. This session is going to be all about just like sending love into the hands. Our palms are these like entry and access points for so many different energies to flow in. So
Doing Reiki hand massages I find really helpful. So soothing.
So I'm just going to be sending this energy towards you. I love using things from nature to send healing energy. You know, I love using things like driftwood, stones, all the earthly elements. I love using water as a healing element. Good. So sending that love towards you, and see if you can just maybe breathe it in. Fill yourself up with that gorgeous, loving energy. Imagine the aroma just swirling in and flowing all through your body. Which can be directed and channeled with laser-like precision to help you accomplish tasks and achieve objectives. Cool. This is going to be a really powerful time for you. 2 super empowering cards. You have this fiery energy, and you have like the earth and the roots and the ancestors. It's like star and earth and fire. Find as comfortable a position as you can. Maybe close your eyes. You could lie down, whatever feels right for you. And let's begin today with gratitude. Whatever position you find yourself in, bring to heart one thing for which you are grateful.